It is quite challenging to stand up to the legacy of the iconic X-Men, the animated series from the 90s. But X-Men 97 picked up from where its predecessor left off, just like the showrunners promised. So far, it has been an intriguing journey full of exciting story arcs and good old nostalgia. And now that the season finale has started off, we expect nothing short of an epic sign-off. X-Men 97 has a 3-episode season finale titled Tolerance is Extinction, and the recently released 8th episode marked the first part of this saga. In this video, we will explore everything that you can expect from the final 2 episodes that will provide the closure for a very successful first season. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. How does Tolerance is Extinction Part 1 build up the narrative? Before we delve into what might happen in the next couple of episodes, let us take you through a quick recap of all that went down in the first part of the season finale. The previous episodes had hinted at a much bigger conspiracy in the picture, which led to the Genosha Mutant Massacre, and it was revealed that the Genosha tragedy was only the tip of the iceberg. Tolerance is Extinction Part 1 shows us the true extent of the elaborate planning by the 2 of the main antagonists of the show, Mr. Sinister and Bastion. We get to know about the twisted details of the Operation Zero Tolerance program to deter the mutant threat. As a part of this program, and also because of Bastion's personal agenda against the mutants, he has successfully developed the deadly Prime Sentinels, which are half-mutant, half-robotic sentinels that can be activated to target mutants all over the world. After a tense build-up, the horrors of the Prime Sentinels are finally unleashed on the X-Men, who can be seen engaged in a fierce battle against these Sentinels for much of the episode. However, there are a couple of climactic twists that help them get rid of the Sentinel threat temporarily. Firstly, Magneto, who was held captive and tortured by Bastion, is freed by Dr. Cooper from the United Nations, who is overburdened with the guilt of being a part of the Genosha tragedy. Once freed, Magneto unleashes a powerful electromagnetic pulse that depowers all the Prime Sentinels, and also seems to take out a majority of human infrastructure. Meanwhile, Professor Xavier is finally back among the X-Men, and he seems to be willing to take control in this chaos. With such an eventful first part of the season finale, there couldn't have been a better build-up for all that's about to come. Is Magneto going to take up his familiar role of an X-Men villain? This is easily one of the biggest questions that remain to be answered in the next 2 episodes of the grand finale. Magneto's storyline is written wonderfully in the show, and he starts off as a pacifist who seems to give in to Professor Xavier's parting request and vision of human-mutant coexistence. He works alongside the X-Men and stands trial in front of the UN, and there have been instances in X-Men 97 where he even puts his life on the line for the sake of the X-Men. However, all his fate seems to have led to nowhere, because the conspiracies against mutant kind are far more deep-rooted than what anyone anticipated. The first part of Tolerance is Extinction even reveals a clear government role in the program against the mutants, and Dr. Cooper admits to being a party to the sinister planning process. However, when we see her hit back at Bastion and Mr. Sinister by releasing Magneto, she also states confidently that Magneto was right all along. Magneto has always been a believer of the theory that humans and mutants cannot coexist because there is a clear lack of trust and goodwill among the 2. Now, the scenario stands such that Magneto has been proven right, and humanity failed to show any ethical integrity. The final scenes of the last episode shows Magneto unleashing one of his deadliest attacks in a fit of rage, and his impactful word, "enough," seems to be a clear indication that he is done playing the good guy. Even Wolverine has confirmed at the end of the episode, when he suggests that apart from saving the mutants, Magneto has also started off an unavoidable war. From the looks of the teaser of the next episode, Magneto seems to have put his original classic suit back on, and it might be the signal of all his all-out war on humanity. It has been revealed that one of the comic book inspirations behind the season finale of X-Men 97 is the Fatal Attraction storyline, which is an entertaining crossover featuring the X-Men X-Factor, and the X-Force, all of whom are fighting Magneto gone rogue. Many of the characters from the comic book story arc are actually featured in X-Men 97. The season finale also seems to have a reference to the Asteroid M story arc in X-Men the Animated Series. If we get a synthesis on these storylines, then Magneto can be expected to unleash hell on humanity, and the X-Men led by Professor Xavier will fight back. Because no matter what, Xavier's philosophy of peace and coexistence will be undisturbed. We have already seen Magneto unleash the planet-wide electromagnetic pulse in Episode 8, and he has done something similar in the comic books as well. What happens in the next comic book storyline might be key to determine the events of the next episode as well. Professor Xavier puts on the Shi'ar exoskeleton that allows him to move around freely, and we have already seen him in the Shi'ar battle armor during his previous appearance in X-Men. Will Magneto and Wolverine have an epic showdown, like in the comics? Many of the fans who enjoy the narrative of X-Men 97 complained about the lack of importance asserted to Wolverine. The feral mutant has been relatively downplayed and out of action, and it was only in the first part of the season finale that he was seen involved in a proper fight scene against the Prime Sentinels as he teamed up with Nightcrawler. However, if the Tolerance's Extinction storyline truly adapts from the comics, you can expect Wolverine to have a jaw-dropping showdown against Magneto. After Magneto wreaks havoc against humanity, Wolverine launches a ferocious attack and truly guts him. In retaliation, Magneto rips out all the adamantium from Wolverine's body, which is still regarded as one of the most brutal attacks in X-Men history. Finally, Professor Xavier steps in and wipes out Magneto's entire memory, and the X-Men try their best to heal Wolverine, who is still not dead after such a lethal attack because of his incredible healing abilities. This is the moment where Wolverine first discovers the unique features of his bone claws, and we have to admit that there's a solid chance of this happening up ahead in the season finale. X-Men 97 has already received the go-ahead for the next season, and it will not be surprising to see Wolverine in recovery mode without any adamantium in his body in Season 2. What will become of Bastion and Mr Sinister? Magneto's resurgence as a threat to humanity has drawn so much attention that we almost got diverted from the fact that Bastion and Mr Sinister are still out there planning the mutant downfall. The first wave of the Prime Sentinel attack has been thwarted, courtesy of Magneto's powerful electromagnetic pulse across the planet. But these two evil masterminds have not been reined in yet. The X-Men not only have to deal with Magneto, who will now seek to wipe out humanity, but they will also have to contend with the other side of the coin in the mutant-hating twisted villains, Bastion and Sinister. The episode will reportedly borrow from the comic book storyline, Second Coming, where the X-Men fight an upgraded version of Bastion who is far more powerful than usual. There have already been signs that Bastion is unusually powerful and intelligent, and he might have a lot more nasty surprises for the X-Men in the remaining 2 episodes of the season finale. Can we see Apocalypse making an appearance? Apocalypse is, without a doubt, one of the deadliest enemies ever encountered by the X-Men, and he might just add to the chaos and trouble for the X-Men if he makes an appearance. He has been seen in all the intros of X-Men 97, and we are yet to see him in the show. With Cable present in the mix of things, Apocalypse might just be the perfect introduction to enhance the drama and complications of the narrative. It will also be a great scope to leave a lot of room for Season 2, because surely someone like Apocalypse is not going down so easily just within a couple of episodes. Are Storm and Forge back among the X-Men? What happens to Jubilee and Sunspot? Storm's absence in the last episode was unexpected, but when Professor Xavier finally gave a psychic call to his X-Men, we saw that Storm received the message. From what we can gather in the teaser of Episode 9, Storm will probably be the one to save Sunspot and Jubilee, and she can be seen giving a mini pep talk to the X-Men, who are not exactly in the best morale. What can also be observed in the teaser is the presence of Forge beside Storm, and he seems to be wearing his X-Factor suit. It finally looks like Sunspot is comfortable in his role as a member of the X-Men, because even he can be seen sporting the classic mutant suit from the comic books. We already saw him putting his mutant abilities to good use while saving Jubilee from the Prime Sentinels, and now it might be time for him to take up a greater role. That being said, Sunspot's comic book story arc actually sees him sacrificing himself for the rest of the team. Given the magnitude of the battle awaiting the X-Men, you can expect some heavy prices, and someone like Sunspot can well become the casualty of the war. Whatever the final outcome might be, we are very excited to see Storm back in action, and we expect some thundering moves from the Weather Goddess to turn the tides of the battle in favor of the X-Men. Can we expect some more surprising cameos in the season finale? This has been one of the pleasant surprises that X-Men 97 brought to us, and there have been unexpected cameos that left a smile on the faces of the fans. Previously, we have seen Captain America in action, and the first part of the Tolerance's Extinction shows glimpses of Spider-Man and Silver Samurai, both of whom witnessed the magnitude of Magneto's electromagnetic pulse impacting the Earth. Basically, what can be understood from these surprising cameos is that the timeline of X-Men 97 is the same as X-Men the Animated Series and other major Marvel animated shows from the 90s, such as Spider-Man the Animated Series. In fact, the Spider-Man that you see briefly in Episode 8 is actually the web-slinger's 90s animated series version. And going by this logic, you can expect many more surprise cameos waiting ahead. Iron Man, Hulk, and any other Marvel superhero or villain who appears in this timeline can technically be drafted into X-Men 97. And there simply cannot be a better nostalgia high than watching these surprise cameos light up the season finale. Will things be open-ended for Season 2? X-Men 97 has tried to replicate the basic theme of X-Men the Animated Series, and simply going by that logic, we don't think that the final story arc of Season 1 will be left on a cliffhanger. Yes, there might be a couple of loose ends that will tie up with the narrative of Season 2, but don't expect to be left in the dark about a major storyline. Tolerance's Extinction will have a satisfactory ending by all means, and it will give the viewers enough closure to enjoy the effects of Season 1 as they wait for the next season. However, all things said and done, we certainly believe that some of the threats for the X-Men might be drawn into Season 2, and someone like Bastion or Mr. Sinister might just be lurking around, even if their plans are successfully foiled by the X-Men. We also want to follow the storyline of Magneto closely, because he is a character too big to be left out of the next season of the show. Overall, it's a mouth-watering prospect, and it's only 2 more episodes till we have the complete answers to all these speculations. Don't forget to share your opinions in the comments below about how you think the narrative will be shaped ahead. Also, tell us about your thoughts on Magneto turning back to his old menacing avatar and what it potentially means for the X-Men. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.
I gotta talk to Hank about his taste in women.